Communicating with an anxious dementia resident in a dementia unit is a multifactorial challenge because there's so many causes for their concerns, especially if they've just been admitted to the dementia unit. Not only is there the recent memory loss and all the problems that go with dementia, but now they're in a completely different foreign environment with strangers all around, which just escalates their anxiety further. So if your mother is in this situation, the best thing is to take things step by step and sit down with her and go through things one by one. Get a nice seat somewhere in the sun, get a cup of tea, give it the time, sit down and work through it. And it doesn't happen instantly or automatically. It takes time, 1, 2, 3 conversations. Many conversations need to be had to be able to settle someone in a dementia unit, but it can be done. So many times I've seen supportive relatives sit down with their mother, their escalated, anxious, stressed out mother, having come into the dementia unit, and patiently work through it. A, B, C. And it might take, sometimes 3-4 weeks. It's quite a long time, maybe even 8 weeks, but actually about 3-4 weeks is probably the standard for the not the run of the mill, but for the well-supported person who has their room set up nicely, they're warm, they get walks, they get outings, they get visits. The well-supported person, 3 to 4 weeks for them to de-escalate. Does take a lot of patience because it can be quite harrowing actually for relatives. I've seen that, especially if you're the only daughter or son, and you haven't got a lot of support elsewhere, and so you're the sole supporter of your parent. It's a lot to take on to have to go through this, but it is important. And I have seen relatives, get worn down with it initially, but bounce back, of course, once they see their mother integrated into the dementia unit, making friends, which of course is the fabulous moment, and from then on increasing their connection with everyone else and being part of the community. But throughout that month of discussions, there are some principal points to take into account. Okay, the first thing, when someone's really escalated and they have dementia with recent memory loss to get through, the best thing is to take it really slowly, give it time, and just say one thing at a time, just a short, simple sentence, which is not confusing or contradictory, and let it land and just sit with it for a while. So the person has time to think about it, go through it. They might want you to repeat it, or you just repeat it anyway to see if they've got it. And this way, once the person feels reassured that you are there, that you're not going to abandon them, that they are supported, and they know they need to be in a dementia unit because they've got recent memory loss, and you can re-explain that to them and all the health and safety hazards. And of course, if they forget that, to re-explain. But once all that's in place and they realise, okay, I have to be here, I've got my supportive daughter, I'm well set up, she's here for me, I need to make friends one way or another. And also the other expectation to have is that your mother does need to make effort. It's not just you coming in and supporting your mother all the way and she just sits back, laps it up and does nothing else. She has to make an effort. It's an equal thing. And say that to your mother, if she's sort of dragging the chain a bit and, oh no, I don't want to go to the press room, oh, I don't like happy hour, I don't like any hour, I don't like this, I don't like that, and grumble. No, you need to be assertive. Don't let them hijack your emotions and say, look, Mum, I am here to support you, but you do need to make an effort and you do need to go to the activities. Not all of them, sure, but at least the activities you enjoyed before coming into the unit, and you did enjoy movies, happy hour and bingo then, you can go to them now because you're used to it, you like it, you're familiar with it, and I'll come with you. And just sort of egg her along a bit and expect her to come, and even say to the charge nurse, I want my mother to go to these specific activities, have her ready for them, inform the carer and say, look, I'll come and accompany her, but she must go to these activities. If your mother's got the carer, the charge nurse and you, all there saying you've got to go to the activity. I mean, she's hardly likely not to go, especially if she's all dressed up and maybe the hair's done or whatever. Maybe she's been to the hairdresser, you've got her some special lipstick, all the rest of it. And, once she goes to happy hour or the movie, whatever it is, the bingo, and she wins the bingo, gets the chocolate, wins the prizes, whatever, it just takes a bit of that to change the chemistry, to change the anxiety, to settle the angst and become a part of it. I mean, it is their new life after all, isn't it? It's their new, they say home, but it's their new community, really. That's how dementia residents tend to look at it. They call it a nursing home a lot of the time. But it's their new community. Their bedroom is their new home, and the lounge and all the people there, the dining area, it is their new community. So they need to be part of that to have any quality of life at all. And there will be people that your mother can get on with. Out of 30 people, there'll be 2 or 3 people at least they can get on with, if not half the people. Like many of the dementia residents get on with everybody, but maybe not special friends with many. Maybe you might only just have 1 or 2 special friends at your dining table, but at least connection and engagement, I mean, that is really important to get that. I mean, they might be a bit angry. It's difficult to get going at the start. There might be a few highs and lows. Oh, mother says, oh no, I'm going to stay in bed. I don't want to get up, and it's warm here and I can't bear it being out there with all those people I don't know, and on it goes. I mean, you can tolerate a little bit of that at the start, but then there does reach a point where you say, no, mum, that's enough now. We've had enough of this, and you do need to make an effort, and we need to go out there and just take her out there. Oh dear. So anyway, I've written about these residents' voice, residents' rise, all these topics on Amazon, good books. Please subscribe and thumbs up, and thank you for your viewing and support. Thank you.